Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, right? So we've been on an environment kick lately. I'm going to show you guys how to do some environments, but this time around add some architecture in there too. So remember the last lesson that I did, if you guys could check that out so you're not totally in the dark. I did multi-layers or multi-levels. So we're thinking about a character that is walking and they're exploring the land, and there's multiple levels that they may have to explore, going down steps, falling down a hole, climbing in something, who knows. But a lot of times we just don't focus on architecture. Is there a building there? Are there ruins? Something like that. So, over the past 3 months now, over the summer, I've been doing some environment work with ruins. And it's gotten me pretty excited about just doing some organic shapes that were sculpted many, many years ago. So you can see right here that I have a flat plane. Okay, this is going to be it's slightly converged, but it's basically isometric, just tilted a little bit more towards eye level. So everything's pretty parallel. And what I want to do here is just think about a terrain that I want to put down, very loose, and I want to think about the setting. Now, I'm not thinking about a character right away. I'm just thinking about the land. One of my favorite things about environment concept art, this is going to sound nerdy, but I love the tiling. I like specific cutouts that you could do to explain things, not to be confusing as a whole picture. Like, hey, what's that? What's that? What's that? But it's little cutouts so you can, study smaller areas at the time. It's kind of like doing call outs for armor on an entire character, but you want to show off a specific area. And that's essentially what I'm trying to explain here. And I'm just going to play around with what type of floor I want. I'm probably going to put in some water right here. Maybe the character is going to approach a lake or a stream. And I'm trying to think about how interesting it could look within this, I guess, flattened box, if you want to call it that. So back in the day, 2012 maybe, I was a concept artist for Bright Rock Studios. They were Subterranean Games at the time, and we had a Kickstarter. And it was War for the Overworld. I don't know if you guys remember that. Richard Ridings did the voice, and the rest is history. Love those guys at Bright Rock. Josh, if you're listening to this right now, you got me my first gig basically, so that was a lot of fun. But anyway, it was a spiritual successor to the old Dungeon Keeper games. If you guys remember that, if you're an old school gamer. And we had to do a lot of dungeon tiling. Okay, a lot of really cool concepts. And we had some really good concept artists on our team, and I just remember being fascinated for it. I was specializing in characters and creatures, obviously, but we had really good prop artists there, and it was just a lot of fun to work with, and I learned a lot about it. So when it comes to architecture, look what I'm doing. So I am lightly putting in some verticals. I want all of you to do this right now. So whatever you're drawing, doesn't matter the layout. If you want a vertical structure, lightly sketch in the ribbing for it. It's kind of like seeing a hologram of what you're later going to be putting details in. Keep this very light. I'm just grabbing the back of my pencil right here. Look how far back it is. Statler Mars Loom Graph 4B. Okay, these pencils are awesome. Speaking of that, a lot of people ask me what brand I use because they think it miraculously makes me draw better. It's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. The tools are just a tool, okay? It matters how you draw with that tool, okay? So if you see me using a Mars Lumograph and you don't have that, you have a basic number 2 that you get from grade school or something, that's okay. You can draw a lot of cool things with that. Anyway, so I'm going to be putting a stream in here, and if I want some verticals showing up, I don't know if those are going to be trees yet. I don't know if these are going to be buildings, but what I do know is that the open land that I see, these little sections right here, could be room for something. That's what I want. Now notice how the edge of the block, it's just one line and then one line this way, and I have the stream approaching this line. Now, depending on what you want to do to make your drawings look cool, you can have the dirt travel to the very outer edge to make it look like it's sloped down to that edge, or you can physically draw in an edge like this. There's a wall. You know, I like to do that sometimes. You saw in my last lesson. Sometimes I'll just put little verticals in here, and then maybe where the dirt is touching the edge, it's almost like I extracted this from ZBrush, but I'm still drawing it. It's pretty fun. Of course, you'd have to match the lumpiness down there and then see what ridges pop out the most so that you can put more emphasis on it, and just starts to look cool. But you don't want to get bogged down on that. That's just like a fun little detail that you can put in. Nobody gives a crap if they're looking at your portfolio and they see that. All right, so once we have these edges right here, now I have to do it because of that. I think what I want to do is an old tower made of stone. Okay, now, I am a big fan of smaller rocks stacked on top of each other. And sometimes I do like it when it's orderly, and other times I like it when it's not orderly, as if the civilization that made it is so primitive that they didn't really care. They didn't have any cement back then, you know, they didn't have any of that. But I'm going to make this to where it looks like there was some thought put into this. You see how these lines are coming down? I need edges of rocks to touch those lines, so I'll just bring those in there, like that. Now, you just saw what I did. The large rocks tapering to a point. That whole area that needed rocks, I just made it fit that. Because who's going to say anything? It's your creation. So I'm going to add some thickness to this. Okay, and maybe these rocks don't go all the way back, but they're stacked upon other ones. So maybe on the other side of this, you'll see bigger rocks jutting outward. And another cool trick, if you're drawing along with me right now, you got these rocks in here. You put tiny little black dots in the areas where there's going to be shadows. And look how that pops out. Isn't that cool? So let's change it up. What if the civilization just suddenly made vertical rocks cut out to finish this? It's kind of neat. Okay, and then maybe big ones at the end. So now it's interesting. Now we got different layering going on here. Maybe these rocks, these giant slabs are kind of laying flat. Okay, so there's a lot of interesting things happening here instead of just doing a really boring, same-sized rock archway. Like it's not going to work. And then what we can do is kind of break it off here. Oh, that's so much fun. What if some stones are laying down here? That's kind of cool too. So experiment, everybody. Experiment with these, because you never know the cool things that you could invent. Okay, we want to kind of mimic what's going on here, but we got to make sure that those do stay broken. Like if there's a big cutout, those are vertical here. Maybe one sticks up over this way. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some foliage, high grass and weeds kind of growing on the side right here. That's kind of neat. I'm going to put some ferns or plants in the front. What if that's a gateway? How creepy would that be? So we're going to shade inside of there. Just one light layer first. Because I don't really know what I want to do with that. I do know that up here is going to be darker. Okay, because all the light coming down is bouncing off the ground, going back up into that archway. Okay, but the very top, the roof of it is going to get some shadows. I'm going to hint at some edges of rocks in there. I think that would be kind of cool. Once you start putting those in there, just some fun shapes that you can suggest, I'm going to hint at a little pathway coming down. And this little pathway is going to have some large flat slabs, maybe little steps right here. Okay, and hey, there might just be a bridge there, so let's do something weird. Let's do why don't we just make it, no, that's not going to work. Here, let's just do the arch. There's no railing, nothing. It's just the archway going over. And there's a thickness to it. So we got the arch. Okay, we got the boulders. Or not boulders, the little rocks. I want to make sure that it lands over there. And then for the top, I mean, I don't even think that that's going to work because it didn't curve around and match that. So we got to do that. So maybe there's some plants right here. I'm kind of correcting my own perspective issues on that. I'll put in what appears to be a pillar. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe darken that up a little bit. And then the water. Yeah, that kind of works. Not the best bridge in the world, but hey, it works. And then some really old stones placed here. Maybe 5, 6, 7,000 years ago, hundreds of years ago, who knows. This was a shrine of some sort to some ancient people that worshipped something over there. That'd be kind of neat. Maybe there's some flat spots, flat pillars at different levels. Okay, very mysterious. I don't want to make it look like a bird feeder, but you know, we have all these little cool, intricate details that are happening in here. I'm not spending too much time on this either, so I want all of you to look, because what I'm doing is I'm just kind of scribbling in some shapes, and this could be twigs, leaves, anything like that. Because remember, in the back here, there could be some trees that are kind of twisted and growing every which way. And then you start to see the possibilities of your scene emerging. This is the fun part, when you start seeing it grow. Okay, there's going to be some shadows under there too. So for the water, if you guys are ever sketching water, I like to put in little wavy lines, singular lines. If there's a bump out from the land, the lines follow that. So it's almost like the water has nowhere else to go other than around that. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then maybe there's a tree hanging over here. See what's happening, and then all of a sudden it could be like a weeping willow. Man, I could just keep scribbling this. Ah, what did I do? What have I started? So what we're going to do now is we're going to play up some of this stream right here. And I want to break some pillars off. Maybe there's some pillars that are very ancient and that have fallen. And, you know, they're old. Maybe they're war-torn. Maybe something happened like an earthquake a long, long time ago. You know, we can put a pillar somewhere over here. See how I'm just kind of playing with this whole outline. Maybe we are at the front gate of a huge palace. That would be neat. We got to put the base in to these pillars. Even if you're not familiar with a lot of architecture, you know, if you haven't studied the Pantheon and whatever else, you know, whatever culture you're thinking of, maybe your game is resembling a certain culture right now and you haven't looked at anything yet, just throw some shapes down first. You'd be surprised what your brain can pull. Here's some archways. Put some perspective in there. All right, and then put some archways in here. I always like these types of architectural layouts just because it reminds me of ancient living, and I feel like architecture back then was probably the best looking. And there's also something very eerie about it too. It's eerie, it's fascinating, and it's fantasy, right? It's fantasy. We got creatures and sorcerers and demons and like who knows what else. But maybe this place is so overgrown. And then maybe the path can kind of travel right in through these pillars. Wouldn't that be weird? Maybe it's like a sewer system, an ancient sewer system. Who knows? That'd be kind of cool. So if you're drawing along with me, ask yourself, what does a character need to do in order to travel through that little bit that you're drawing? Okay, if you do little drawings like this, it's going to help you gain confidence in laying out an entire area instead of being fixated on a little one. And two, we want to learn how to draw buildings, right? It's going to help your portfolio, but at the same time, it's going to solidify your designs. So let's say you could do characters, but you can't really do architecture well. Well, if you can do both of them, then you could do some environments. You can do your characters within the environment. Just think about the stories that you're going to be able to tell if you get that skill. Sky's the limit, everybody. Sky is the limit. Now, today isn't going to be a very long lesson. Sometimes I need to speak a lot longer than other lessons, but I just wanted you to try this out. Now, if you enjoyed today, I will do many more of these. I love doing the environment sketches. I'm kind of glad that I just stumbled into that being part of the channel now. And I know you guys have been asking for it for a long time. So, I try my best to fulfill my promises. The other thing that I want to mention is if you check the link below, I have a Substack email list. Okay, it's totally free to join, and it's about my Kickstarter that's coming out next summer. So next summer / early fall, and I want to get a really good early start on it. So if you subscribe to the mailing list, I'm only going to email on the last day of every month, and it's going to be an update on some of the things that I've done for eCore 117, which is my personal project. It's going to be my Kickstarter. I'm trying my best to build momentum now so that when we release it, we can get that sucker funded and the books printed and you guys can get your journals, and it's just going to be so much fun. I got so much planned for it. Just you wait. Okay. So here we is. Did I just say here we is? So sorry. Here we are. Nothing fancy, right? Just 4B pencil, moleskin. Got my light shining on this, filming with my cell phone. I don't have fancy equipment, folks. I really don't. And we started scribbling. So I'm giving you all a homework assignment. Do 10 of these. Do 10 of these. Put some crazy stuff in there. Put some creatures and demons and hills and swamps and alligators, like whatever you want. Let's see what happens, okay? It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you have any questions about this, if you have any things that you're working on, you want to ask me anything, comment below, okay? I see all of them. Till next time, peace.